There is some good news in the market, and I believe that as an investor, if you are constantly checking your portfolio, I'm pretty sure you are happy to see some gains in the market today. And this is not something that is unexpected. It's just a matter of time. We knew that this time would come. And that is why I often say that you always buy the market when the opportunity presents itself, because you just never know when it's going to turn around. Now, that is not to say that we have, moved past this period of uncertainty, but at least we are getting some clarity. And that is important in this whole journey of investing, especially with this administration, considering things can often change within a few seconds. Yesterday, President Trump came on during the White House press release or press conference, and he mentioned that he has no intentions of firing Jerome Powell. And actually, let me pull that up right now. That is this one here. Trump says he has no intention of firing Fed Chair Powell. And there was a short video that was played, and I don't think I need to play that at this point. But you can see President Trump said he has no intention of firing Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell before his term leading the U.S. Central Bank expires next year. Trump has recently ramped up his rhetoric against Powell and declined to rule out the possibility of taking the unprecedented step of firing him. U.S. stock futures rose sharply across major indexes following Trump's latest remarks. Now, that is not the only thing that we're excited about. The second thing that we're excited about is the fact that he actually mentioned during that press conference as well that he is going to be nice, or will be nice, with China, and he hopes that they will be nice as well. I mean, that's what he said. Of course, I'm not quoting him exactly. But the point here is that is giving some clarity as to what we can expect in this current situation. So the first thing I would like to share with you is this, right? The first question is, have we reached the bottom just yet? Or have we passed that bottom, those lows that we saw 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago? Have we actually passed those lows at this point? The second question, were those periods or those days, were those the perfect buying opportunities that we always say we want? Well, let's look into that shortly, right? It is important to see where things have been in the past, let's say 6 months. And if I go back to the page here, if I go back, this is a 6-month chart right now, and we can see that as of, let's see, that was April 21st. That was the recording of this video 2 days ago. The Dow dropped to about 38,000. As of April 8th, all right, the Dow dropped. This was from April 2nd. I believe that was the Liberation Day. That was the day he made the announcement on the tariffs. The Dow dropped from that point on for the few days afterwards, and following the announcement of the tariffs, we saw a huge volume in sell-off. And of course, we dropped all the way down to these lows of about 37,100. And of course, we haven't seen those lows since that period. So that begs the question, were those days the perfect buying opportunities that we all look forward to? Secondly, what could we have done during that period? Well, I always say that when these times present themselves, there's always a lot of fear, a lot of uncertainty, and the fact that we don't want to see our money go down, we try to back off from the market. When in reality, those were the perfect buying opportunities. Right now, as of today, if I go back to the 1 day, the Dow is up about 2.62%, and we're up 1,000 points. And if we go back to the 5-day chart, we are literally clawing back the losses that we experienced all through last week, and including Monday, the 21st. And we're literally almost back to where we were, almost. And I think by the end of today, I mean, I'm recording this video early in the morning right now, but by the end of today, I believe there's a chance, unless something else changes, there's a high probability that we would exceed, or at least claw back these losses. We're literally half a point off from where we are, half a percentage point, by the way, off where we were about 5 days ago. We'll say about a week ago. So if we can literally close on this, that will put us back to a good point. So let's say we close around that 44,000, somewhere there, 45,000 for the Dow specifically. We are getting really close to not 45,000. I take it back. Let me go back to 40,500 is what I meant. I'm sorry. So we're really making our way back to the days prior to the announcement of tariffs, right? So that is something that we are looking forward to at this point. And of course, like I said, maybe, just maybe, we have passed those low points, those extreme low buying opportunities. Maybe we've passed those points. Now, the next question that I want to bring up to you is, should we still be buying now? Now, of course, this is not financial advice. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm just a random guy on YouTube. But understand that when the opportunity comes to buy, like we've experienced in the past few days or few weeks, and we missed out on it, the next thing is, okay, should I be getting into the market again at this point? Is this the right time to be investing? Is this the right time to buy? And honestly, this is where I always say that timing the market isn't what you want to do. Time in the market is what you want, which means that if you have money that you are not using, that is maybe just being saved for opportunities, might be good to dollar cost average, right? You don't have to go all in, because again, things can change in the next few days to weeks, because maybe China doesn't come to the table, maybe things just doesn't go as planned. You have to always prepare for those uncertainties. And that is why I always encourage that the best strategy is to dollar cost average and not try to time the market. At the end of the day, this thing will recover. It would definitely recover. If I go back to, let me show you this real quick. So we're at 40,239 right now on the Dow, 252 to be specific. But we still have a few thousand points to go back up, right? We're not too far off, about 5,000 points, give or take, right? To make back where we should be. All right, the highs we experienced after the inauguration, the highs we experienced in February. So we are getting somewhere, because we are slowly breaking through those resistance levels, right? And we are approaching a key resistance level right now. Remember, we experienced that drop from 42,000 all the way down to 37. We experienced the resistance at 40,400, somewhere in that range. And then we touched that point again, and we are approaching that point for the third time, which is telling you that a lot of investors are ready to get back into the market. That is a sign that a lot of people are getting into the market. We are, now, of course, we can still go back down, but the fact that we are seeing this touch of resistance and comes back down, and as another thing to note, okay, very important to note, we are making higher lows, right? We experienced the low point at the 37,100 at this point. The next low here was 38.30, right? So even if we come back down, I don't think we're going to experience those lows anymore. So the thing is it safe to say that the worst is behind us? That's a great question to ask, honestly, because in my opinion, I think the worst is probably behind us for now, just for this period. And if you're waiting to see those lows again, I think that you might be waiting a long time. I don't think that is what I would recommend. That is what I would want to do. I would prefer to pick my money, invest as much as I can while we are still in this low region. All right, I still consider it a low region because, hey, we haven't really gone back to above 41. Once we cross 41,000, that is definitely a clear sign that we are now in maybe another bull run. And again, there's a lot of uncertainties right now, so I'm going to be very cautious, of course, but it's definitely worth noting that we might have passed the bottom.